What it do? We back. We here for the next video. It's your boy BLK Finesse. We're actually here to watch the top 10 most hated guns in COD history. Call of Duty I've been playing for years now. I want to see what is so bad about most of these guns. Honestly, I've actually had a few guns that I hate because like everybody and their mama wanted to use the gun because oh, it's the meta and they think they're good because they're using the gun. No, just because you're using an overpowered gun doesn't make you good. It just makes it easier for you to get kills. Okay? Use a gun that's really hard to get kills with. They're not gonna say you're good. Sorry.
Is a game full of guns. I mean, yeah, really, Jimmy, set the obvious out there. State the obvious. Now, everybody knows the feeling of starting a new COD multiplayer, playing around with a lot of weapons until the community figures out the tier list. Some guns are good, others are bad. But generally speaking, everything is acceptable in Call of Duty except for these 10 guns. Throughout the franchise, some guns have garnered a bad rep in the COD community for a number of reasons. Maybe they're too good, maybe they were too cheap, but whatever the reason may be, these are the guns that will get you roasted in game chat if you are using them. You let me know which of these you're guilty of. Yes, we've done this before, but I've had it asked for an updated version, so here we go. These are the most hated guns in COD history. At number 10 is the LSAT in Black Ops 2. Easy one, check it off the list, let's go. Light machine gun Black Ops 2, and it quickly became synonymous with campers, specifically douchebag campers.
You might be right there. Actually, you might be right. I didn't really have too much of an issue with that gun. Honestly, I want to say I think I got that gun platinum. Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure if I got all the guns platinum on Black Ops 2. I think I had maybe the submachines, the assault rifles, and the shotguns. I'm not sure if I made it that far to the LMGs. If I did, it maybe like 2 LMGs. But the LSAT one
it would be the perfect gun for a default class. Give it to the noobs out of the gate, they said. It reliably killed with 3 bullets. Fired at 750 rounds per minute. Didn't have any kick. No recoil, really.
Okay,
I mean, you add in a 100-round default mag and a lot of annoying attachments like the target finder. You've got the best camping weapon ever put in a Call of Duty game. I stand by that. On top of that, some people would run a freaking riot shield as their secondary and use it as a portable piece of cover so they could camp even harder. The LSAT was hated. Hated by almost everybody.
I'm so glad I never ran into people like that. I'm not gonna lie, because actually I have run into a few campers, but I think I understand what he's talking about. I actually have run into a few campers that had an LMG, but I didn't know it was this gun. I don't recall this gun not having that much recoil though.
For if you were using it, even if you were using it, you probably hated it and yourself. If you admit on social media you used it with a target finder, well, you already know. I think it's the perfect way to start this list. And don't forget, guys, the new Chaos Call of Duty channel is growing. We're on our way to 3,000 subs. We cover daily COD news, updates, leaks, rumors, even a little bit of drama in the COD community. You guys seem to enjoy those videos. The link is at the top of the description. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe. There are videos up every single day. At number 9, yes, the voice is going away. I coached my son in 4th grade basketball today. We got the win. The M16 in Modern Warfare Remastered. One of the original OP weapons in COD history. It was one of your starting
it's an original gun.
2007. Didn't take anybody very long to start using it. A 3-round burst with precision accuracy and only needed 2 shots to kill. It was a little too good. And when the time came to remaster the game, Raven was faced with a choice. Would they nerf this infamously overpowered rifle, or would they preserve its legacy and just port it on over? Pretty sure you guys know the answer to the question. The MWR M16 was even more deadly because of the improved connection and the general...
I mean, okay, so over the years, Call of Duty increased the amount of damage that it takes to kill somebody. I think it's realistic. But at the same time, I like hardcore or tier 1 of the current Modern Warfare 2 because it's actually so much more realistic than having guns that are overpowered, because at the end of the day, it's realism. So, I mean, the M16... On certain games, yes. Almost a lot of the Call of Duty games, that gun was overpowered. Even now, they made it into an automatic gun instead of 3-round burst.
It's an average skill level within the COD community. People were abusing it in the remaster, far more than they did back in COD 4. And the weapon was quickly turned into a villain within the community. I love the COD M16. I do. It will always be nostalgic for me, but I have to agree, it was too powerful. Raven probably should have just nerfed it in the remaster out of the gate, pulled the band-aid off, and we move on. On a solid connection in the hands of a decent player, it broke the game. At number 8, the MV4 in Infinite Warfare. I gotta ask you guys something really random, but I want to know. Do you like the sky blue thumbnails where the sky's in the background and you have the weapon? Or do you like these new thumbnails where we have the text on the left And then we have a focal point object about the video on the right. Give me your feedback in the comment section.
These are dope thumbnails.
Okay.
I need to work on mine.
Infinite Warfare. Speaking of ARs, from Infinity War games. The MV4 is perhaps even more infamous than the M16 for many of the same reasons. Now, the MV4 didn't kill that fast, but you could react with it. Incredibly easy to use, unlocked right away in multiplayer. Had a very competitive time to kill. It was seen by many as the best all-around weapon in the game. Since it was so easy.
I'm not gonna lie, Call of Duty did lose my interest after Advanced Warfare. Infinite Warfare, it just went completely down here. I wanted to stop playing, and then it made me actually not want to play until the first Warzone came out. Once the Warzone came out, then I actually started playing. But see, the crap's so unrealistic. It's giving Halo.
They could have
with guns.
They could have a good match. Infinite Warfare had some really weird stuff for Call of Duty in the multiplayer version of this game, and much of the community hated it for that reason, but perhaps the most hated thing in the game was this gun. For the longest time, it was the only weapon you ever saw on the battlefield because it was just viable. It was viable in the TTK department. It was viable in the this is easy to use department. There was no good reason not to use the gun if you were playing Infinite Warfare. It was a negative spot on the game. It was. On a game that really
it was so hard to get people to kill people while they're midair.
The bar in World War II, COD World War II, that is. From one overpowered rifle, we jump right to the next. 2017 brought us back to World War II in a way that much of the community wasn't too thrilled about, especially during the launch window. Aside from the fact the game barely worked for the first few weeks, there were some pretty obvious balancing oversights, one of those being the BAR. The bar was so broken on launch day that Sledgehammer had to issue a nerf just 4 days later, and then a second nerf just a few weeks later. Even after every nerf, the bar, it held fast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I tried playing it a few times. I want to say I used that gun.
Not only was it cheesy,
no recoil.
Not only was it overpowered, basically just like the BAL again, it was Sledgehammer had a history of putting one or two super overpowered guns in their games and then partially nerfing them. Back in AW, the BAL, the ASM-1, COD World War II, the BAR, the PPSH, Vanguard, STG. The BAR was just another example of Sledgehammer and their problem, and they couldn't fix it. It remained a top-tier weapon that was mainly used by sweaty pub stompers, and yeah, this was before the days of TTVs. At number 6, the M21 in Modern Warfare Remastered. I want you to take note. I said Modern Warfare Remastered, not Call of Duty 4.
Yeah, that's like a
semi-auto sniper. You could say that was the very first spam sniper.
That's like the M14.
In terms of function, it's basically the 2019 FAL, but with way less recoil and built-in.
Not 2019 FAL, the FAL.
Kill with a single shot to the head without stopping power. 2 shots anywhere else to the body. Throw some SP on there to make it. It would be one of the most consistent.
Even on Call of Duty Mobile, that gun is pretty much overpowered.
It really wasn't necessary, but you could take something out like Juggernaut if you wanted to. What really made the gun so hated in the remaster was the fact that for some reason it was not banned in the snipers only playlist, meaning you could run around with an M40 or an R700 like a normal person, and at least half the lobby would be run around spamming the M21 instead. COD 4, very experimental game. Obviously, some things were going to be overlooked like the M21. It was powerful, right? But then you get to the snipers only and Modern Warfare Remastered. No. I mean, you could probably go sell your controller to GameStop, take the $10 they give you, and go buy a self-help book at the nearest Target if you were that person in snipers only playlist with this. Seriously. At number 5. The Marshall 16 in Black Ops 3. Shouldn't be too hard to understand why these things were so hated. I'm being pretty negative.
It's like a shotgun with a pistol.
Edgy. I don't know if I like it. But then again, it's been one of those days. The Marshall 16 wasn't just completely overpowered. It wasn't just a skillless weapon. It was also one of the hardest weapons in the game to get your hands on because it was in supply drops. Yeah, as time went on, supply drops became more saturated. Loot, weapons, and it became nearly impossible.
I don't think I really ever used that gun whenever I played. I think that was one of the last Call of Duties I played.
They had. Shotgun pistol, insta-kill from stupid distances. Despite being a secondary, it was arguably the best shotgun in the game. This is where Call of Duty took a rather obvious turn into the dark ages. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
Marshall 16 was obviously overpowered, and those who had it had a pretty clear advantage on the battlefield over other secondary weapons. It was locked behind a random system that got harder and harder to win as more time went on. It was really hard to get when they were added to the game. But then when you go back, and it was the only ranged weapons in supply drops. At the time of making this video, there's now more supply drop weapons than base weapons in Black Ops 3, so good luck getting the Marshalls now, if that's even a thing. Yeah. Absolutely everything was wrong about the Marshall 16. It deserves to be here today. At number 4. Fire shotguns.
I'm sorry. I'm guilty for it. I have used fire shotguns over time. Fire shotguns get you the kills. They get you their kills. I've been leveling up like crazy with these fire shotguns.
Absolutely everything. When I first made the list, About half of it was shotguns. I then realized that the guns weren't the problem. It was the attachments. Every shotgun I put on the list minus one was only on the list because of the incendiary shells, so you know what? I'm just going to put every single fire shotgun on the list as one giant entry. Introduced in COD World War II, incendiary shotguns.
I think it's more so about the attachments rather than shotguns.
Experience for some reason, and I don't get it. Does anybody think they add good things to the game? I mean, I guess it's cool to literally blast fire out your shotgun and melt people over time, but they're one of the most obnoxious things ever put in an FPS game, if you ask me. I don't think it's a coincidence that every single new fire shotgun ends up being hated by the community. Whether it's a combat shotgun from COD World War II.
I mean, they hate it because... I'm sorry, some of y'all need to stop crying. Some of these people who hate shotguns with fires gotta stop crying, because at the end of the day, it's a part of the game. Like, you can hate me for it, but it's a part of the game, bro.
2019. They plague every game they appear in. And while they may be fun to use, I think they're scummy. If you whip out a fire shotgun, you only got a couple minutes before half the lobby whips out theirs to counter you. Maybe one day, they'll figure out how to properly balance something like this in a first-person arcade shooter.
The easiest way to stop it is just to get a long-range weapon.
All of them on this list at number 4, which should tell you something about just how hated these last 3 guns are. Segue at number 3. The VMP in Black Ops 4. I said that really weird. The VMP. Now, this may be a strange pick to those who didn't play that much of Black Ops 4, but if you were somebody that was in the game, you're getting me. You're nodding your head right now. In fact, you're probably
that map was on
higher.
Black Ops 2, wasn't it?
Black Ops 3. Fan favorite SMG. Solid fire rate, reliable time to kill. Good all-around weapon that a lot of pro players...
Yeah, I've never played that game, so... I mean, that gun looks very familiar. It looks like it's been put on Modern Warfare, Warzone.
Brought into Black Ops 4's DLC, pretty close to the end of its life cycle. But those who were still playing...
It looks like the shotgun from Black Ops 2, but just turned into a submachine gun.
Fast up close and at longer ranges. And since the recoil was not hard to control, you could control it in practically any situation. The thing was basically the infamous SOG SMG, but better in every single regard. It killed faster, better range, better iron sights, complemented both the aggressive and passive playstyles better than the competition. The Black Ops 4 community will still flame you on Twitter today, or in game chat if you admit to using the VMP, and since it was added so late in the game's life, it was never really patched. So hopefully you got this from a reserve crate or whatever they were called in that game, because if you didn't, you were at a severe disadvantage against anybody who had it. It's really not right. At number 2, the Akimbo FMGs.
I remember that.
Machine pistols were a huge game changer.
I remember that, but they weren't much of an issue with me.
Putting machine gun in our pocket. In Modern Warfare 3, they said we can do better. Unfortunately, the attempt to be...
Actually, it was only an issue when we played Infected.
Ended up breaking the game for a few weeks.
Because the ammo just kept getting regenerated.
But once you unlock the Akimbo, well, all bets were off. You can kill faster than almost anything else in COD history. Not just Modern Warfare 3, COD history. Modern Warfare 3 launched with like 48 guns. Yeah. The hip firebox was tight. The recoil was manageable. The Akimbo version, they were objectively the best secondary option in the game, and using them was an instant admission of having no skill. They killed laser fast from any distance. They weren't hard to control. With specialist streaks, they were unstoppable. Only people who used them, people just didn't care. Infinity Ward and Sledge eventually nerfed the accuracy, and they're not as insane as they were, but if you start using FMG9s in COD Plutonium, you only have a few seconds apiece before everybody starts complaining in text chat and hunting you down.
I mean, those guns weren't...
Burning hatred for these is alive.
I don't think they were all that, though.
Probably never going to change. I'm not going to lie. As long as Plutonium keeps reminding people how busted and skillless they are, that hate is there. But there's one gun in the community that I think the hatred is even deeper for. At number 1 today, no shocker, the 205 Breachy in Black Ops 3. Is it Brecky or Breachy? I say Breachy. When you saw the title of the video, you already knew. You know me.
So I don't think I played the game enough to see that kind of shotgun.
4 has a gun been so hated by the collective entire COD community that not only were there unified cries for it to be nerfed, but its legacy continues on every single year when a new gun is dubbed the Breachy, and we kind of help with that here. Think about it. Semi-auto shotgun is so overpowered that many COD players refer to all semi-auto shotguns as Breachies. The same way people continue to bring up the Akimbo Model 1887s from Modern Warfare 2, the aimbot sniper from IW, the 205 Breachy will always be remembered as the one that was one of the most game-breaking things in COD history. And ultimately, the irony here is the Breachy was never nerfed, not one time. Today, it's the same as it was when it came out in Black Ops 3. It was obviously overpowered. The entire community was rallying around it to get it nerfed. Nothing.
See, I might remember. I actually might remember that shotgun. I don't think I remember the
modded control.
I guess it's the drum that's on it, the attachments.
I don't know. The OP nature mixed with Treyarch's refusal to nerf it made it one of the most hated things in the entire Black Ops franchise, possibly Call of Duty as a whole. The legacy of the Breachy lives on forever. And when we inevitably go back to the future again, maybe we'll probably get a Breachy remastered. Let me know what you guys think. Is there a gun you hated more that wasn't on this list? Make sure you check out the new Chaos Call of Duty channel. Let me know what you think about the thumbnail question, and I'll see you soon.
Well, to think of it, the only few guns I don't like, as far as Call of Duty history, was the Fennec and the M4, and I can't remember the name of that sniper, but it was on I think it was on Black Ops, the first Black Ops. That one shotgun with the one single fire bolt, annoying. The guns that actually just people were so good at using it. I think my worst nightmare is going against sniper users, because I suck at using snipers. I crap you not. I'm being so honest. I hate using snipers, because not only is it hard to kill people while they're moving, if you were going against someone else that had the same sniper as you, bro, I die quicker. Even if I'm doing backflip spins and dives and crap like that, they still manage to hit me. And it's just like they so happen to know when to stop turning at you, and then they shoot you. I'd be so confused with it, bro. I'd be so lost. How did they still get the kill off? But comment, like, subscribe down below. It's your boy BLK Finesse. We out, bro.